Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to From the Depths with me, Lathrix, and welcome to a well-placed mine. Well done, my little drone. Right now, we are currently in the... Oop, there's another mine coming down. We are currently in the sandbox, because I've been messing around for about a good 10 minutes now. This is a lot of my time we're talking about. On a very small drone plane. Now, the reason for the very small drone plane is that I'm finally ready to start messing around with a mothership or a airplane carrier, etc, etc. Now, to start off with, I wanted something adorable. So I made something adorable. As you can see here, I've made one of the smallest flyers I have ever made. Now this thing is perfectly capable of having adjusting maximum heights due to the propeller at the top. It has mines which drop a little bit inaccurate for my liking at the moment, so I'm still tweaking with those, and missiles which only fire when the hit is basically guaranteed. This hulk of a machine costs a grand total of less than 1,000 metal. Yep, this thing can be produced in the hundreds, and the big thing is, like I said, that it can adjust its maximum height very easily due to how the control, what do you call them, the automatic control blocks work, basically enabling a maximum and minimum height, which is very easy to establish, as it doesn't use rolling for turning either, as much as just the front thrusters. It has the smallest engine I've ever personally made as well, pumping out a whopping 29 power, which it never uses. I'm actually really happy. It's adorable, and its missiles work, and everything's good. Okay, you see now the top blade has slowed down. This is because it's reached its maximum height. At the moment, it uses a very wide range of heights, so that it can go up and down quite a lot, but it can be made far more specific. The one issue is, and I was hoping to actually show you this, is that when the blade is slow, its turning capabilities become really weird. It still goes the right way, but until it gets back into this mode, which now it's instantly straightened itself back up, or it should do now, there we go, it's straightened itself back up, it can be a little bit funny, so it kind of just dangles in the air going left and right until that's sorted. I think that'll be less of a problem once the minimum and maximum heights are a little bit closer together. Like I say, it's got about 100 meters at the moment, whereas it can be as tight as perhaps 10. Dropping the mines! Haha! I love it. And anyway, let's get back into the campaign. We're actually going to be messing around with missiles today, not this adorable little drone. Although maybe I'll make the drone first. Okay, so we're going to just have a quick look at that, so that shouldn't be sending it off. Excellent. So with these 3 control panels, I think I really should have an active range, just so I can make sure not to set off my pod. So the idea is, if the enemy range is greater than the input, so if it's further away than 1,000, I wish to recall all vehicles, which should be happening now because there's no enemies inside. However, if the enemy range suddenly is lower than 900, let's press test, so it should just do it anyway, it will release the drones. However, of course, because there is nothing, it's not releasing them, which is awesome unless the range is simply not enough. It might actually do it anyway because we're pressing test. Yeah, of course, because you press test, it happens even if the criteria isn't met. That's kind of the whole point. Okay, so once again, test stats. Obviously, we need about 20-ish. I didn't really check, honestly. There we go. It just came back down. So our little rot fly, as I've now called it because I couldn't think of anything more original, back to Nurgle, I suppose, will now be released if an enemy is too close. However, if the enemy is too far away, it will simply come back. Although there's a huge chance it will knock into something because I haven't really set it up properly yet. Also should really have that a little bit lower, as right now it's got a chance of being shot by the gun early on. So obviously this area hasn't really been thought out too much. I just quickly cobbled it together for this cobbled out drone, just to see if we can do this. So there is an enemy on the horizon. There are 2 enemies on the horizon. One enemy is the Gotha, which actually isn't too powerful, honestly, for a flyer, and a Barracuda. The Barracuda, however, is freaking terrifying. So we need to do something. So what I'm going to do is very quickly tinker with the insides of this turret, and then we're going to sort out an additional missile system, which is our crowning glory for the day. Well, sadly I didn't quite have enough time as I wanted to test everything out, but here it is, a very ugly and unfinished thing. It currently has the missile launch pads. Every single one of our missiles chooses randomly, etc., etc. Oh, seems our Scuttlegun managed to get into a battle without my consent. Interesting. Ah, that's not good. It's basically dead anyway, so kill it! Goodbye! Whatever. That'll end the fight at least. So a battle is about to begin, so we've got a few more seconds to test. Let's see the maximum range of this thing. Wrong weapon slot selected. Boom! So the idea is, it's swarm missiles. They'll all go for the same target, however they'll go for different parts of the same target due to the camera fitted on them. They go much further than I thought they could. Interesting. Okay, well that's good to know. One of them is, however, shooting a bit slower, lower than the others. I think it could have just been a random. Oh, I think I actually fired one of the other missiles. I think that's what may have happened. Not quite sure. They all look about the same to me. Unless I'm clearly missing something obvious, which I've done a million times in the past, so I wouldn't be too surprised. Okay, let's go for just under 1,000, or it's about 1,000. Excellent, okay, yeah. So they'll all fire, we have friend and foe, they're all going to fire at the same time. They're a swarm missile, so they should destroy the first enemy they hit. We do now desperately need, however, more ammo. So again, because I haven't got much time, I'm going to just slot it in here for now, because what I'm going to do very quickly, once I've done this, is what I've done before, blocks and stone blocks, and we're literally going to fill this thing with stone. Not exactly the best idea in the world, I know, but still better than nothing, I suppose. A little bit of added protection. Okay, so we actually have the Rotfly now as part of our thing, as part of our group, because I kind of wanted it. This is going to go horribly wrong. Again, remember, this is a test drone on a test thing. It's by no means indicative of what I want in the future. The turret now has far more explosive warheads. Pod is still pod. In fact, I'm going to lower pod a little bit. Pod, I love you, but please lower. Thank you. Because if this dies, you die anyway, so you may as well be a bit closer to it. What else can we do? Nothing. Pray to the dark gods we win, and be right back when the battle commences. Which will be in a second. Well, other than the fact I'm now deaf, battle has commenced, and there go the swarm missiles. Oh my lord, if this thing hits, it's going to be phenomenal. Oh, look at that perfect spread, and boom! Multiple targets hit, and lots of holes in the wings. Where's that little guy, little drone? I just saw him a second ago. What's happened to him? Rotfly, you already dead? There's a good chance Rotfly's already dead. Oh, yeah, the turret's doing way better than it used to do. Is that the Rotfly there in the floor? Where is Rotfly? Rotfly? Here, boy. Are you dead? There's one easy way to tell. It's by checking this. No, apparently it's still alive somewhere. No idea where oh, there it is. It's still too low, though, because it takes a while to get into the air. But it is actually fighting. Yeah, it is. It's actually killed the other guy. Oh, well done, Rotfly. I believe the Gothard... Now, I actually had this on maximum settings. I'm surprised the Barracuda didn't spawn in straight away. And honestly, a little bit disappointed, because I was hoping the swarm missiles was going to hit. Still freaking awesome, though. Now, the Barracuda, of course, is the fleet carrier, the airborne aircraft carrier. Oh, of course, because it's on an attack run, it does go down. Seriously? Whoa, we got a good bit of damage in. The extra explosive... No! Rotfly, you died to one shot. As you would, because everything explosive is vulnerable. Yeah, the extra explosive shells on the rapid-fire gun, the rapid-fire anti-air gun, is making it a devastatingly better thing. Little annoying repair things have repaired it past its destruction. Oh, missile hit. Some of the smaller missiles might hit. Oh, there goes one of the little guys. And there's an enemy closing in. Now, these are the things I need to look at to kind of figure out how to do drones properly. Wow, he took a load of damage from that little guy. Actually aim before firing. Oh, was pod fell? I believe pod... Nope, pod's bugging out like hell. This is why I had him a little bit higher up. Fly, pod! Oop, no, don't go back down, pod. Fly, pod. Had a pod. Is the Barracuda slain? Not quite. I'm stuck on invisible nothingness. Interesting. And this is why we need the blueprint spawner to automatically spawn in more Rotflies if they're damaged. It's actually quite effective, it seems. It did take out a thing by itself. If we can take out the big guy, the actual Barracuda itself, once this thing's down, it's been floored a few times now, Well, the other guys are just clearing up. Ah, it has anti-missiles. That may be why it's surviving so long. Since, well, we're evolving so much around missiles. Oh, one of the little guys just fell over next to us. Fantastic. I still need more ammo boxes inside of here. That's another problem I need to do. So I think what I'm going to do off camera is actually add a brand new turret. I'm going to simply rework the turret from scratch. Okay, I think we're just going to wait around like... Oh, there we go. I dead. Oh, I dead? Oh, I'm too far away. I could have captured the Barracuda. I should have captured the Barracuda. But like I said before, I'm currently suffering from a respawn bug. And I can't really make myself vulnerable to being killed. Oh, it's in minus, which means it should be self-destructing now. And anyway, it didn't actually hit the ocean floor, so... Goodbye, Barracuda. Swarm missiles prevail. Okay, so what I need to do is next to this, put the blueprint spawner, and you can actually control these via control blocks as well. That's the funny thing. So you can basically have it permanently making things. It's rather awesome, actually. Where are you, my lovely... No, not sub-vehicle. It's in here. There it is. I'm so used to putting down the scrapper, but not this. But there. Just delete that block. Okay. So you can have it as a default as well, so it'll always make that one. You can have it so it constantly spawns them. There's all sorts of things you can do so that you don't have to do what I'm doing now, which is basically the manual version. Ugh, manual. Okay, so that should have been spawned in. Now it's being built. Excellent. So let's just grab it before it hits the floor. Or not. Or just do it afterwards, fine. Grabbed. Keeps on saying, oh. Because this thing needs to let go of the damn thing. Now can I take it? It'll take me a second then when all that stupidity is finished. Being sustained by repairs. It's actually in the battle right now. Oh my lord, explosions. I think one of the enemies may have just crashed into us. Or my turret's gatling itself because the enemy's over there. Because the pod doesn't count as part of the vehicle, so its freaking failsafe isn't working. Okay, guy, turn off. I'll go and deal with it myself. Oh, never mind, it's been done with anyway. Is that Rottweiler flying away? No, it's fighting, though. There we go. And then we'll make it part of our little group once more. Hello, Rottweiler. You're now part of us. Forever! Yay! Okay, so... what do we need to do now? The swarm missiles were awesome, and a nice one-off thing. The better turret is better. And the drone idea actually might have some merit. Which is interesting, honestly. So, it's all pretty darn good, I think. So, what I'm going to do now is go ahead... Ooh, well, that was not a happy noise coming from our little Rottweiler. I'm going to go ahead and make a basic hull, because we need a new ship. Charnel is fantastic, but simply isn't dealing with the current situations as is meant to be. What's still over there? Back in a second. Before we continue with showing the new ship's hull and basic mechanics, it does dawn on me I really should have ticked this box as opposed to this box when it comes to recalling my vehicle. I just had a very, very quick battle versus a couple of enemies and realised that for some reason this time the ship wasn't being recalled, and that was actually the issue. As soon as I changed over, it all worked absolutely fine. And even if this is wrong again, I will be testing this out in the future. Yeah, there's still a lot to do with this, obviously. This one actually worked really well. This killed 2 vehicles on its own. Well done, Rottweiler. I'll be definitely improving it and making my own little drone that I'll be using in high numbers in the future. The big issue with this drone, of course, is the fact it can't gain altitude quite fast enough when it's on its combat run, which will be instantly, which I didn't even think about. Of course, that can be changed with any basic settings, including don't go below this height when you're on a combat run. Very basic AI stuff. Okay, back in a second. Well, here we are, the very, very basic skeleton hull of the new vehicle. So, well, the whole point of this vehicle is it's going to be a missile carrier. Each one of these rib kind of spaces will be holding missiles. Most of them are going to be in the swarm missile style as we saw earlier, but possibly using proximity proximity fuses, as although they do cause a ridiculous amount of lag, in small amounts, perhaps 10 or less in the first swarm volley, they really shouldn't cause too many issues, particularly since now we're going with smaller robots. Anyway, this is far from finished even hull-wise, and the reason why we're kind of being driven underwater by this thing is because I've simply built this and saved it as a new object so I can put it lower or higher in the finished build, because of course our centre of mass and weight and all that stuff are going to be changing constantly. So let's do a little bit of work today and I'll finish the rest off camera. So let's go to regular metal again as always, and so the big thing is I do want some side side structures on this, which will most likely go closer to the front and possibly kind of spike forward as an arc. The reason for this, so something like, I don't know, I'm just putting this in the floor for now, something in that kind of style but larger, and what these are going to be is they are going to be holders for defense things such as anti-missile lasers and possibly even some smoke detectors, laser detectors for releasing smoke, yay for defense. Inside, of course, right now we are completely empty. there's nothing really else to say. This is completely empty. We're going to be filling it extremely soon with our engine. In fact, we have enough resource for our engine. Will it fit inside? I haven't actually tested. It will just about fit inside, excellent, and it will actually cut out the top section as well. Should we put this in the middle of the back? I think somewhere near the back. We can actually put it there. Probably fit quite well. Pop that in. There we are. There's our basic small engine. It's actually one shorter than I want it to be, like I said, but that's absolutely fine. So we've got a basic engine going. It's too heavy right now, and again, it'll all be helped supported by the side structures when they're done. The next bit is we need to start adding missile systems and everything else. There's lots to add and so little time to do it, sadly. So each missile system will poke out and go through these rings looking like holders, and they will then fire the missiles, possibly 4 actual missiles per piece, so each one goes into the edges, and that kind of staggers the actual weapon system, along with allowing me to add extra AI as I see fit. Once again, this will be placed higher or lower at the end. Nothing else really there's nothing much more to say, so let's just do a little practice one of these then. So how the missiles are going to look. So it's going to come down from here, so let's put a little marker there, so that's that. Yes, okay. Then put another marker down. Okay, so this is where we want the missile source torpedoes, missile launch pad, and we want this to face upwards, although I can't freaking see it right now because I'm inside the block. There we go. There and there, okay, and let's go back to my regular colour scheme instead of using the bright freaking luminescent green. You know, I have no idea why I have this wood here. Honestly, can't even remember adding it, so that's just great. Missiles. So the big thing is, though, how big do I actually want the missiles? Now, I purposely kept these as blocks underneath this section, just for that very occasion, to make it easier on myself. So how big would this allow me to... can't check, can I, until I put a controller in, so let's quickly put a controller to check. That is plenty big enough. It might even be a little bit too big, so I might need it one smaller than that, but that would be absolutely, yeah, definitely too big. Let's go like this, so just underneath, that way we can also put armor around the top. Yeah, actually that'll be fine, that'll be absolutely fine for our needs. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Let's just add these, no, actual missile block, and then put it up. And let's put this one around. Once again, break through the block, and there we go. So the basic concept continues. Okay, so that's the idea then. Each one of these is going to be a ring for the missiles. So, of course, we don't just want missile launchers. That can be easily countered by anti-missile lasers. So what we're going to be having as well is one or two very high-gauge, slow-fire rate cannons. And these will be able to hopefully target the air. They're going to be on turrets most likely, and I could have one on the back here. I could just put, actually that would be better as well, because it would lower the centre of gravity and force it a bit further back, which is a lot easier to use these with. So I could add a turret around about here, as the missiles won't hit the turret piece itself unless it's stationary. So that is something we could do. Another thing I should do really is turn off turn off our spin block right now before it freaking rams us into the mountain. So that's probably the idea we're going to go with then. So we'll have a large turret on top, which has just one barrel, and probably go along the length of the vehicle. Then all along here, along the side of the barrel, in fact, we'll have the missile launchers for the swarm missiles. Yeah, okay, then the side sections, when I do add them eventually, I'm not sure quite how I'm going to add them yet. Like I say, it's all kind of in the works of ideas. We'll go on the sides, and that's where that'll go. I am tempted, I'm very tempted to make the top instead a runway and add several rotflies. And now I've said that, I really want to add several rotflies rather than another turret. That's actually really tempting. We could have our first aircraft carrier, a very small aircraft carrier. Okay, well anyway, I'm afraid though I am out of time. From the Depths is one of those games where you can lose several hours and only get 10 minutes of recording done. But still, I hope you've enjoyed. Next time I will try to make it a longer recording and more happening. I keep saying that, and I do keep trying. Trust me, I have like 10 hours a day where I have to try and work, and that includes editing and recording. And sadly, From the Depths is one of those games, like I say, which basically eats up a good 5 to 6 hours of it. So thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed today's episode, then of course likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly shows that From the Depths is a series you wish to see continued in the future. And tell me, would you like to see a very high gauge explosive armour piercing turret, or would you rather see several rotflies or an improved version of my drones, basically permanently stocked on the back but also with the full setup so they respawn after death? Please tell me in the comments below, I really am curious to know. Or should I just focus on building another ship, which the only purpose of it is to have the rotfly? That'll probably happen anyway, so actually don't take that into consideration. Just answer, turret versus drones. Thank you for watching, have a lovely day, please do take care, and until next time, goodbye.